Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Did you miss the show? Download the podcast now.
Hey, it's Elena J. So imagine this. You're asked to be a surrogate, and you are totally down to do this. However, your significant other isn't a fan of the person that you're going to be a surrogate for. What would you do? Plus, we chat about family vacations that were ethically ruined, and the Playhouse turn in their resignations? What? Are they quitting? All of this plus so much more is coming up in the Playhouse Podcast, which starts now.
If you missed it a couple of seconds ago, we talked to a woman named Ellie, and basically the shtick is there's a little bit of a family rift. But she has been asked by somebody who's not like a close family member anymore to be a surrogate.
Okay, so it's her brother's wife. So it is.
So it's
a close family member.
Yeah, they're close, but not like they don't talk. They haven't talked in forever.
There's been a rift, but the wife has nothing to do with the rift. You know what I mean? It just feels like it's between the two brothers. And this woman just really desperately wants to be a mom. So she approached Ellie and said, "Would you be a surrogate?" I feel like the fact that Ellie didn't like automatically say no. She knows, how much
but if she
bringing a baby
says
into
yes,
this world is amazing.
Any little bump in the road for the next 9 months, your husband's going to go, see, told you so. Yeah. See.
We got a text that says, I think that the four of them need to actually sit down, discuss this, and yes, they need to talk out their issues because just because there is a baby involved does not mean the issues between the brothers go away. And that is so true. Like, why would you want to bring a baby into that? Sounds messy.
Tisha, do it or not?
Listen, let me tell you something. Kat and JJ, I love you guys. I turned the radio on. It was raining and storming last night. I turned the radio on and I heard that. Let me tell you something. I had only one out the game. It hurts to carry a baby. It really does. And you have to eat healthy and do all of this, vitamins and everything. But I think she should do it because your life is short and it's hard. That baby could be something in life.
Yeah. Well, Ellie never mentioned that she doesn't feel like these two are unfit. You know what I mean? Like she feels like I truly think she wants to do it, and she has good pregnancies. It seems like so. I think she should too.
I think she should do it. Yeah. Get a baby a chance. And whatever they going on in their life, that's their life.
Right.
Give the baby a chance. The baby got a chance.
So you only had one son, right?
That's life.
You only wanted one baby.
That's it. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yep. So you want if somebody would have gave you 10
out a bowling ball.
Tisha, if somebody would have
Michael Jackson got me pregnant, I would have another baby.
Tisha, if somebody would have given you $10,000 to have another baby, would have you done it?
No, no.
$100,000.
It hurted me so bad. Like my pregnancy was really, really bad. I mean, a bird pooped on my belly.
How does that happen? Where do you got to be for that?
I couldn't eat anything but Subway.
That doesn't sound horrible.
I just wanted Subway. It was just, I had a rough pregnancy.
Listen,
and I didn't have a bird literally pooped on my belly.
If those are your only two obstacles, Tisha, I think it'd be something to think about for $100,000.
I couldn't eat anything but Subway.
That sounds okay to me.
How does that have anything to do with a bird pooping on your belly?
That's nasty. Ugh. And I didn't have any hand sanitizer. That's what my grandbaby called it. She called it hand sanitizer. She can't say hand sanitizer. She called it hand sanitizer.
All right, Tisha. We get to know a little bit about you every single day.
But tell Ellie I think she should do it.
We will.
But I don't know if she's going to do it. But I think she should go with it.
Yeah.
Give somebody a chance. Everybody makes mistakes. Fall sometimes.
Wise words.
I think she should do it.
I
think she should do it.
All right.
Tisha, always good to hear from you. Always very unique. All right. Have a great day.
My friend named her daughter Unique.
All right. We're off the tracks. I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a great day, Tisha.
All right. You as well. Thank you.
Love you.
Bye, girl.
Love you.
Love you.
Inside, I'm craving love in my life. And love can mean a lot of different things depending on where you're looking for it. But at one point, you're like, oh my gosh, look at how sexy they are on their Tinder profile. And then, boom, your Uncle Tony shows up.
Hi, is Angela there? I'm Angela. No, Angela.
So now, so tell me about this. So Tinder is trying to make it so that you can't catfish anymore. Is that the technology they're trying to get through?
Yeah, so they're calling it selfies for safety. So it'll ask you to take a series of selfies in specific poses to kind of like verify you.
Oh, so it's like take a picture with a newspaper of today's date so I know it's current type of thing?
Yeah, something like that. So I think it might actually work. I think it's smart that they're doing this because I've heard of a lot of catfishing stories, especially on Tinder. But I got catfished on this other site back in the day. It was called like Teen Spot or something. I can't remember, but
that sounds illegal.
I know. I was a freshman in college, and being gay, it's hard finding other gay people. I mean, nowadays it's a little bit easier.
Well, yeah,
but
the assumption is that if you see someone of the opposite sex, they're available for you, right? There's no real calling card.
Yeah, but being a lesbian, you don't really know when a girl is gay. You're like, oh, are you?
Isn't it kind of fun to try and change some of the straights?
No.
Okay.
I'm not into that. So I went on this site and I matched with this one girl and we were chatting and she was living in Georgia. And so I was going to a music festival called Bonnaroo down in Tennessee. And I was like, hey, I'm going to this music festival.
I'm in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm kind of close by, like a couple hours away. We should hang out. We should go see a show. So I actually bought tickets to go see this kind of like underground artist. And a week before our date, she goes, sorry, I can't come anymore. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, we can figure out something else to do. I'm in the area. And then she discloses to me that the photos aren't her.
Oh.
And I was heartbroken because this girl was hot. And
was it a dude?
No, it was a girl, but she just, she was still attractive. It wasn't that she wasn't, she just wasn't as attractive as the photos she was using.
What's the appeal of the catfish? Is that just because you think you can mentally or cerebrally attract somebody?
To hurt other people. You've been hurt.
You
like
think
if you
so?
watch Catfish, that one girl that it really kind of made me sad for her because she just sits in a dark bedroom all day and catfishes numerous people just because she's been hurt in the past.
So this
she
fits,
wants to get the bag.
This fits my theory of that about 20% of the people want to watch the world burn.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But Elena, you're very shallow when it comes to women and their looks, and I think you can be honest.
How did it end then? She said, this isn't me, and you said, all right, screw off.
I said that we could still be friends because trust is a big thing
for me
as well. No. I mean, we were friends for a bit, but then, yeah.
I don't want to be friends with a liar. I wouldn't say yes. I wouldn't say yes to a friendship.
I don't want to be friends with anyone I don't want to see naked.
We started on a lie. Bye. That's how I would say it.
You ever been catfished?
Nah.
We've both been married long enough. Did you ever date online at all?
No.
No, me either.
I put in the work, yo. I went out.
I flashed this around, and they just come running.
Yeah. You had no question of
when
what color
I used to
bra I was
try.
wearing. Yeah.
Timmy, tell me about the catfish, buddy.
All right, so I met this girl online, and everything was good. Looks great. Went over to meet her. Turned out her picture was from 15 years ago.
No.
Her chest was about a good foot down farther than what her original profile picture was.
Leave her alone.
Highly disappointed.
So again, that's the worst though. If you're into somebody, so Elena's driving, how many hours to go see this music festival? She's like, oh, I'm going to do two for one here. I'm going to see the festival I want. I'm going to hook up with this girl. And it ends up being that, she looked like.
Yeah. What? Do you know what she looked like?
Describe what you thought she looked like.
She was Italian.
Okay.
So dark features?
Yeah, dark features. I'm into that. Beautiful eyes, long hair.
What did she really look like?
I don't want to say.
Say it.
No, don't say.
I don't want to say.
It's okay.
I don't want to be too shallow.
There's no shame in what you're attracted to. That's not shallow. That just means you're attracted to that
look. Yeah, but
look.
now she's going to ugly shame somebody, and she doesn't feel like she wants to. She's not like you. Look how easy you would do it.
Was she not fit enough for you?
It wasn't that. It was just kind of like the butt of face type of thing.
Okay, she said it.
You're so shallow. I can't believe she did it. You're peer pressure to do it. Ashley, tell me about the catfish here, will you please?
Well, it was a guy that I met online, and I met him through mutual friends, and his profile picture, he looked all snazzy and very attractive, and I met him in person, and it was just a train wreck. Well, he dressed kind of like a bum. He had, really bad teeth, and
that's the worst.
It is really bad grooming habits.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, I can feel the lice from here. You know what I mean?
There's nothing worse than having a picture in your mind and then it just doesn't pan out. You know, like that firefighter, super hot, small hands. You know, that's a big deal for me.
That's what I mean, and I get it. It's easier to just sit there and swipe along people who you make a good first impression with or whatever. Mm-hmm. But getting out and actually meeting somebody, that's the thing. Like I could not imagine when you watch like 90 Day Fiance, like that dude that had been corresponding with that chick from Russia for it was like 7 years.
Oh my God! And then she shows up and she's so disappointed.
Right? She's like, you don't look probably anything like 7 years. Yeah. Think about that. If you saw a picture the first time you were chatting, and then 7 years later you meet, you could put on 100 pounds. You could have a giant growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's all sorts of things that all of a sudden change the way you are.
That is one of the stories when I watch that show that makes me so sad that he can't see, like, the way she does her eye is like she's so he freaks her out, you know? And the long leather jacket, you know, he makes a lot of bad decisions. Just like,
you thought
I don't look murdery.
You thought Big Ed was bad.
Oh, man.
Give me the highlight of your weekend, Cats.
Put on 18 miles on the hog, and so that was nice. Don't call me a hog. I put on 18 miles on my recumbent bike, got too many compliments on it.
No.
I was almost turning them away. And then
what do people actually say?
Out. They ask about it because it's intriguing. They say, does it hurt your lower back? What made you get this bike? Do you have a medical issue? Just certain questions like that, and that's okay. And then I answer them all, and then I ride off into the sunset.
Do they know it's you from hearing about it on the radio? Because nobody else rides a recumbent bike?
My friend Brent's aunt follows me on Snapchat, and she saw me riding on the county road, and I hear me, and she waves. She goes, I knew it was you by the back of the bike. But Liam and I went on some bike rides. We went to the gas station, got some waters, and he sat on the ground, and he was drinking his water, and I ran in to go to the bathroom. I came out, he goes, some little girl came up and asked if I was homeless. I'm like, I guess we don't live in like New York or like a metropolis where you could bike everywhere and it's kind of normal, you know? I don't know. I think biking is
so now
seen
we
as
understand
like a
that if you
activity.
See somebody, no, I don't think biking is.
Yes,
I think
it is.
recumbent biking is. That thing is such an atrocity
I
that
would
it
like
makes
to find a homeless person that can afford a recumbent bike.
Well, usually it's just left behind because people are tired of getting made fun of, and then it becomes a homeless person's property.
Wow. Okay.
It's Mount Rushmore Monday. So last night, I don't know if you heard about this, if you saw it on the news, but we flew to Mount Rushmore real quick in Kat's private recumbent bike.
Shut up.
And we shaved off all the faces of Mount Rushmore. Not anything having to do with the protest. We just did it because we have the means. And now we're putting up faces of really, really awesome child actors. Kat, your choice. You get one spot up there. Who's your choice?
Well, mine was Seth Green. Just looking at his IMDb was insane, and I was inspired by watching Can't Buy Me Love, the 80s movie, which I didn't even know anything
Dempsey
about.
was like 18 when he did that.
Yeah. Elena chose
Jonathan Lipnicki.
Yep.
He has to have those glasses, though.
The human head weighs 8 pounds.
He needs a speech impediment. Yes. It just makes his character.
Dogs and bees smell fear, Jerry. Mine is Super Cooper, Danica McKellar.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't watch Impractical Jokers, but there's an episode where one of the guys, Murray, he's the one that looks like a ferret. He's the bald guy.
Yeah.
He's had this crush on Danica McKellar for like his whole life. And so what the guys do is they grease him up and they put him in like a little thong and they tell him that he's doing like an amateur bodybuilding competition.
Yeah.
And when he walks through the door, she's sitting there.
He gets
to interview her, and it's like a hot moment. You feel like you can't breathe because it's really, really embarrassing. He's just he's all lubed up in like bodybuilder oil. It's really, really unfortunate. So I want to know who else belongs on Mount Rushmore on a Mount Rushmore Monday. Belinda, who are you throwing up there?
The original actress of Shirley Temple.
Oh, Shirley Temple.
You know,
yeah.
she had a pretty normal. She didn't turn out like those child actresses. Those ones like Judy Garland. You know, she had a rough go at it, but this one got out of the game after Shirley Temple and lived a fairly normal life.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Hey, thanks, Belinda. Have a great morning. All right. A lot of people
watch those.
You guys, Alyssa Milano is on there. By the way,
yeah.
Did anybody see the latest Instagram picture from Alyssa Milano?
No.
She got cornrows at a hairstylist place, and she takes a selfie of herself with the cornrows. What she fails to realize is you can see in the background everybody going like giving her that really like, oh god, you shouldn't have done that, girl look.
Yeah.
And it posted and the internet blew it up. It was really
she
great.
Likes to put things up there, like when she breastfeeds, she likes to make sure everyone knows she breastfed her kid that day.
Yeah, those are fun.
Topanga from Boy Meets World was texted in. Josh Hutcherson, who is from the franchise
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games,
yeah.
yes. Jonathan Brandis, who's that?
Wait. Breaking news, everyone.
Do not read
A
that
text from my guy Abe says, hey, JJ, guess who I saw pushing her recumbent bike across the highway Friday afternoon?
Good.
Why don't you ride your bike if it's so recumbent-y?
You're supposed to walk your bike across massive highways. Whoever
That's
is texting
the
in.
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
Hold on.
Sounds good. I'll just fall, and then the numbers will count down, and then I'll just get ran over.
Cars are doing between 50 and 90 miles an hour, and you're supposed to walk your bike now?
Yeah. Abe, I thought we were friends.
Why wouldn't you ride it fast if you're so recumbent-y?
I'm with my child, and I'm teaching him how to make sure that he is safe with his bike.
I don't agree
you
with
walk
this.
Your bike across highways.
Why?
This is what you do.
No, they're going too fast.
Do you understand? You get 25 seconds to walk across 2 lanes.
Nope.
Okay? And you have to do it quickly, but you cannot fall. You don't have time to fall.
This is completely fitting the recumbent bike stereotype you're
Anybody
trying to
knows, bike safety knows. You walk your bike across highways and streets.
Are there different rules for the recumbent folk?
Yes, there is. Whatever. Abe, nice try, bud.
Dude, next time you got to get a picture of this. I need to get a picture of Kat walking her recumbent bike across the highway. I know COVID messed up. My wife and I were thinking over the last weekend that we, this week, would be going to New York City. 3 weeks ago, we would have been in Chicago for some Cubs games. And COVID messed that whole thing up.
Things have been rerouted. There is a different way we're doing summer.
Try and find an RV right now, an above-ground pool, or a relatively inexpensive boat, and it just won't happen.
Can't
I mean,
be done.
listen, people are all staying put and kind of reseating at home.
I think if you're going to plan, I would say 5 adventures this summer, I would think 3 out of 5 are going to go wrong if you have kids involved. My friend Elise is back from Alaska.
Oh, Elise from Alaska.
Elise from Alaska. My mom met her and taught with her in Japan, and they
She
come
ride
back
a
every
recumbent
summer.
bike too, or not?
She probably does. She does yoga,
That type?
standing on just like one single boulder. She's pretty amazing. But she has a little daughter named Sito, and their whole family just went up north, and her husband left a day early, and she put all the groceries in the back, including all the meat they were going to grill, including all the potato salad.
And he didn't
everything
notice
that was
it, and it all
mayo-based.
spoiled.
He went inside, took a quick nap, then decided to go fishing. She had told him, you have to empty this. Just bring it inside, put it where it's supposed to go, get it chilled, and then we'll be up tomorrow. And he leaves it all in the back of the minivan. She goes inside, nothing in the fridge, nothing in the pantry, nothing. She's like, no way. No way. Checks the deep freezer out in the garage. No way. And then they go out there, hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
All that wasted tater salad.
Yes. So all of this is the way they started their current summer staycation family adventure. And I'm like, it can only go up from here. You have to go to the grocery store and buy all new food. Not cool.
Well, my parents, when they took, I was in like 7th grade, so I was almost a little bit old for Disneyland. And my sister would have been like 4th grade, 3rd grade, something like that. On the rental car we had, as soon as we, kind of started, I think we got to the hotel. And then as we were on our way to Disneyland, I got in the back seat. And, usually there's a divider between the front door and the back door. Well, I had held on to it as my dad slammed the door as he got in. And my fingers were in there. And it hurt so bad that I couldn't cry or even yell or anything because it had taken my breath away.
Yeah.
So I was like, and my mom looks over the top of the car at me. She's like, what could be wrong now? And then that's when she looks down and she sees half my hand jammed in the door and the other half out. Well, my dad opens the door. Well, are you going to be, is it broken? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like trying to, you're 7th grade, so you're like 13. You're trying to be manly and everything like that. Clearly, my hand was in like 2 different pieces at that point.
Oh, my
God.
God.
And he's like, you're not going to wreck Disneyland for all of us, are you? And so I'm like, no, we can go, right? And I remember even like as you're getting the tickets, the one lady's like, is he all right? My dad's like, yeah, he's fine. Nothing's wrong at all. My
smile's funny.
My tears are my eyes are all red. It looked like I just, hit a big pipe. I'll never have a family vacation truly ruined.
Yeah, we went to Denver, and my mom is super cheap. So she had to find this amazing deal online for this motel. It's like, number one, that should be a sign there, a motel instead of a hotel. But it was like $40 a night. So had great reviews online. And so we stay there. It was the creepiest. Oh, there were bugs. There were spider webs. It smelled nasty. And we're like, please, can we please get another hotel? And she goes up to the front desk. They're not going to give her a refund. So we had to stay there the entire 4 days that we were there. And then it gets even worse because then she goes and they're like, oh, well, hey, we'll give you a $20 certificate to go to this restaurant next door. We all got sick.
Oh, my God. Food poisoning?
Yes. So then there's one bathroom, obviously. It's a motel. They don't even have like another public one for everybody to use.
It's like the bridesmaid scene.
It was the worst thing ever.
It's coming out of me like lava.
We're like, can we just please go home?
Look away. Oh, that sounds horrible. We had a New Hampshire motel situation too, but it had fleas. It had bed bugs. My mom freaked out. It was on a bad side of town. Nobody told her not to book at that motel. We walk outside. 2 of our tires were slashed.
Jesus.
We go to the family reunion. My cousin Tommy whips a flaming marshmallow at my cheek, so I had to go to the ER for that. Talk about an adventure.
Is that the same one that said, I wish we weren't cousins because he wanted to get with you?
That was JT.
Okay.
Yep.
So what I want is your family vacation when it got ruined. It turned into a family trip disaster. Jason, the family trip that just went wrong. And this was recently, right?
This weekend, my neighbor took his family on a bike ride with me, and his bike got a flat tire.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Right after that, his wife fell on the bar of her bike really hard, so we had to stop at a bait shop and get her ice.
Ouch.
Yeah, and then their 12-year-old son dropped his brand new phone that he got last week.
It is just one thing after the other. That is horrible.
Yeah, it was crazy, too, because it was literally just one thing would happen, go a little bit further down, boom, boom, boom. It was all one right after the other.
Wow.
It was insane. But, yeah, so he dropped his phone, shattered the screen everywhere, and, of course, the dog stepped in it, so there was, like, glass shards in the paw pads. And
oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Poor guy.
So after all that, it's I don't think I'm looking to start a family anytime soon.
You're good with being single, huh, with that show?
Yeah.
See, now I can get that. I appreciate the call, but that was just a bike ride.
I know.
I'm thinking you guys packed up and you headed for Wally World, and it got really, really bad. I would love to have your story on the show. The Playhouse would like to welcome Ashley to the show because all I feel are good vibes, rainbows, puppies, and amazing thoughts and memories. Ashley, how are you?
Yeah, I think I have the wrong number then.
We're talking epic family adventure fails. And there's nothing worse than, as a mom, you can relate where you have this vision in your mind and you're like, this is going to be an amazing trip. My kids are going to have memories for a lifetime. So what went wrong for you?
Well, see, I would talk about the trips that I take with my children, but they're here with me right now, so I don't want them to see exactly how annoying they are. All right? So I'm just going to go back to when I was a kid. I was about 16, lived in Arizona, and had a bright idea to go to Las Vegas for the weekend.
Uh-huh.
So we were going to drive, which is no big deal. It's about 6 hours. We've done this several times. We never had any problems. So they make a quick reservation at some hotel, casino place, and we go on our way, and about 3 hours into the trip, there is a huge crash on the only direct route there. It's huge. They shut off they closed the road for 3 miles in both directions.
Oh, no.
So we have to backtrack. Well, we sit in traffic for an hour. Then we have to backtrack 2 hours to the closest place to actually go another direction, which took us up into, like, Needles, California, which I do not recommend doing this, okay? So a 6-hour trip turned into literally a 13-hour drive.
Oh.
Oh, gross.
And who
in
takes
Nevada?
And who takes kids to Las Vegas, anyways?
That's the only place my parents took us.
Listen, it was great fun. 13 hours. My dad wouldn't stop. I had to pee so bad. I was sure my bladder was. Right, so we get there. The casino.
You're right. Your kids are super annoying.
I'm getting anxiety. I really am.
See? I told you.
Right.
Man, the casino gives away our reservation, so we had to stay on off the strip, off the strip. That was the only place that was open. Oh my God. It was the sketchiest place ever. And I've been to Crenshaw, okay? It was sketchy.
All right,
well,
Ashley.
Thank you for your story. It sounds like you're going through the mountains in Nevada.
Your kid needs help. Thank you for your story. I appreciate that. Oh my God. Let's get Troy on. Troy, good morning, man. How you living?
I'm living well. How about you?
Great. Tell me about the horrible vacation you
Great.
had with
All
your
right.
family.
So here's the deal. I was 18. I was in high school. We went to Georgia to go see my brother graduate basic training. When we got there, we watched a guy graduate basic training that wasn't even him. He was down the way. So eventually we found him. My mom's crying. She's like, "This isn't your brother," and I'm like, "Yeah, well, everybody looks the same in the military." So we get to my brother. We get back to our hotel. It's like the Hampton Inn. So we're stoked, right? We're thinking that this is gonna be great. The door was high enough up where you could literally see small things trying to come inside at nighttime. We found a hat. Hold on. In our room, we found a hat, a shoe, a half-drink diet kind of soda. We were trying to figure out why the air conditioning wasn't working, so my sister crawled up on the toilet in the bathroom to check the vent. There were syringes in it. I'm like, I'm getting out of here. So I kid you not. My mom goes and she tells the front desk, and they're like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry. We'll get somebody to clean it up." And it's like, no, we don't want to be here. Where's the body?
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to leave, but I'm stuck here with my mom. She's like, "It's okay. They're comping us the night." And I'm like, "I don't think that counts. I don't think that matters."
I don't want to stay
I'm like, you know what? Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for a walk. I go outside. I'm sitting there barefoot by the pool. And I think I see this mouse, and I'm like, "Shoo, mouse, get away from me!" It was actually a huge spider. So I'm like, you know what? I slept with my shoes on. I slept with my hoodie on, cinched all the way up, so you could only see my eyes peeking out.
You look like Kenny.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, because I thought it was gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm like, Kenny's just a cartoon.
Oh man,
you are a great storyteller.
Yeah. Well, hey, I used to be a telemarketer.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. The other worst part was I just dyed my bright blue mohawk as bright blue as I could for my brother so he'd see me. And then I took one shower and it stripped everything out. So I don't know what's in the water down there. I don't know what kind of critters are running around down there. But I'm not going back.
And I bet you fit in. Night. That Southern culture really usually adheres to the blue mohawk type.
Yeah, it was really brutal.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Hey, the one question I have for you is does your mom tell your brother that you missed his graduation, or does she say, "You looked great, honey, we're so proud of you"?
She walked up, she's like, "I struggled to see you at first," and I'm like, "Dude, we just watched somebody else graduate."
You blew it up. I love it.
Yeah. He's like, "Who was it?" And I'm like, "That guy." He's like, "Well, we look the same." And I'm like, "Exactly, so the pictures would have been fine."
Yeah.
But, no, that's fine. That other guy's part of the family now, too, might as well be.
That's funny.
Thanks, Troy.
Anyway,
appreciate
you guys
it, man.
have a great day.
Yeah, you too, man.
Don't be shy.
That guy was the best. He was a great storyteller. I love it. Resignations are never anything easy to deal with, especially after the COVID. A lot of people were furloughed. A lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people haven't gone back to their jobs.
I think when you see somebody that you've enjoyed working with, that's when it's tough. But I think sometimes workplaces, when someone's going to leave before other people.
Well, and I think some places, how do you say this the right way? Some places accept and tolerate a toxic culture, and they don't want to change it. They're just willing to find somebody else to fill that role. And the reason we're talking about it this morning is one of the guys from our news team has decided to move on. And so we got this email to our entire staff last Friday.
And our HR guy is so good with words and always just writes really nice things about people, as he should.
Without saying his name, basically, here's how it was. This guy's going to be leaving. His last day with the company is going to be, blank, blank. He started with us back in 2010, made his way to our market a few years after. He's a valued member of our news team. It'll be different not hearing him say, his name on the air. So best of luck to him and his family. And I thought, immediately when I read that, I went, there is no way on God's green earth that if I ever left here, anything this nice would be written about me.
It would just say JJ's quitting.
Yeah, JJ's finally quitting. His last day is blankety blank. Don't let him steal anything before he leaves. Turn all the cameras on and change your passwords now.
We've let him go. He pooped in the dishwasher.
Which is probably...
And put the clean sign on it.
Probably going to happen. So what we thought is, well, before any of us resign, let's write our own resignations for each other. Mm-hmm. So that we have something on file that somebody can just copy and paste instead of, hey, he was an employee, click. You know what I mean? Like you have to say to be politically correct. So I wrote Kat's resignation, and I'd like to give it to you right now.
Sure. Do it.
Kat has resigned. She joined the Playhouse back in 2006. Since then, she's been lying, scheming, and gossiping to thousands of people every day. One would think that working with a quality, highbrow intellect like JJ would brush off. Her professionalism would be better. But she doesn't play by those rules. Radio paparazzi will never be the same. But luckily, with her resignation, the ladies' room now will be. We wish her all the best as she now becomes the new spokesperson for recumbent bikes across the United States of America.
Oh, this just in, they all sold out. There. Because she's so good.
Okay, better. Do one better. Why don't you write Elena's resignation letter, please?
Okay.
What would be emailed to our entire company the day that Elena decides that she is going to move on?
So I get this in my inbox, and it says, I regret to inform you that Elena, however you say her last name's last day with the company will be tomorrow. Elena Hovel/7. I'll never know how to say your last name. Has been with the company for somewhere around 4 years or so. We don't quite know because she's very quiet. She started in Grand Forks and then loved cats so much that she moved to this current position here. She has decided to move on to a full-time career working at the bins, and she is very excited to put more focus into cleaning and organizing. Best of luck to Elena and her girlfriend Melissa and their son. There you go.
Now, Elena, I want you to put together a resignation for me in all your wisdom and poetic knowledge to write what you think HR will send out when I resign.
All right. Here it goes. JJ, the founder of the Playhouse on KCLD, started with Leighton Broadcasting back in 2004. After getting fired from his last gig and pretty much every gig he has ever had, Leighton Broadcasting decided to take a chance on the blacklisted DJ.
They were desperate.
And man, what a ride it's been. From him pushing kids out of the way to get Easter eggs at the KCLD Easter egg hunt, to scanning photos of his butt and placing them in every employee's mailbox that said, is butt cheeks one word, or should I spread them? After 16 years, we say goodbye. And in the words of JJ Holiday, we hate to see you go, but love to watch you leave.
Wow.
That is really
Very
endearing.
poetic.
I like that.
That's not as bad as I thought it should be.
I love how you read it like Dateline. Yeah. After months of hiding the bodies, we finally found them. We're not quitting. We're not going anywhere. For now. Right now.
Today.
No.
The show's almost over.
I got a mortgage.
Podcast. Download the podcast.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryant Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend. Immediately.
And hey, we have more podcast episodes available, so go check them out right now. Do it. Come on, do it. Seriously, do it.